Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So on this video, we're going to talk about XLOOKUP function in Excel. And right here, I have at least 10 examples that I want to show you guys for this one. Let's start with the first one. Is going to be basic XLOOKUP. So I have a sample dataset on the left side right there. I can change the color of this one. And I have so much Excel videos on my channel, so please check it out. So first thing right there, I have an egg pie right there, a value or an item that I wanna extract on this cell. So how can we do this one? We are gonna utilize the XLOOKUP value. So for this, as you can see right there, there's already a guide. So select a range of an array for a match and returns the corresponding item from the second range of array. By default, an exact match is used. So as you can see right here, I'm just gonna enter a parenthesis, and this is gonna be the guide. So which item or which kind of data are we looking for? For the example, we're going for egg pie. And clicking on this one, we're looking for that one right there. Add a comma. And what part of the cell is it looking up the egg pie to? We're looking for the item cell right here. As you can see right there, it has selected the array of data. And then we're going to return it. We're going to get the value of it in this part right here. And basically for this one, close the parenthesis or close the formula. Click on enter and we have it right there. Basically, easy as that. Now to start off our tutorial for this one, the first feature is what if it's not found? What if the data we're looking for is not along with the dataset? Now given that egg pie is still here, so it gives us the value of 63. However, what if I type in here, let's go for orange. If I click on orange, it will give me this NA error formula, which is, trust me, as an Excel user, we hate seeing this formula error. So how can we fix this one? Simply click on double click of the formula. And right here, you'll send that if not found option. As you can see right there, it's being unviolated. Click on 0, click on enter, and there we have it. So anything that's not going to be on the list, for example, I go back to Apple, and it gives me the value of 12, right? And what if, for this one, I click soda. Click OK, and we have 0 since soda is not on the list. And basically that's how it works for the first feature. If not found error, if you want to add your 0, please do so, unless you see the NA error. Now for the next example, which is going to be multi-column lookup, for this one we're going to utilize a much more complicated option. We're going to utilize two datasets that we're going to look for, egg pie and large. So right here, there is only one set that gives out egg pie and large. And how can we fix this one? Of course, we're going to utilize the most powerful tool for me. That will be XLOOKUP. Now this is where it gets fun. So first what I'm going to do is look up values. So we're going to select this one. And right there, rather than going straight on the item set of the column, I'm going to add in ampersand or the N if you may. Add some column, some hyphen, another column, and then another ampersand for you guys. And with this one, let's go for the large one, or this cell right there. So once you have successfully added that up, click on comma. Now where are we going to look up this array? So this is the part where you should add the data column sets. As you can see right here, we're going to do the same drill. That would be ampersand, column, dash or a line, another ampersand or apostrophe, sorry, and then click another ampersand for you guys. Now we're going to look at the size right there. Perfectly right there. Now I'm going to click column right now and basically look for the value as normal. Close the formula. Now I can just pause right here if you want to copy my formula. Click on enter and we have that value right there. So whenever I type in something that corresponds on the combination of the sets right there, gives me the value. For example, under Apple, since there is no Apple and large option right there, it gives me the NA error. However, since there is an Apple and small here, if I change this one to small, I'm going to have the value of 12. Now for the next feature, this is going to be scalar lifting. As you can see right here, I have multiple item sets that I'm trying to select out or scrape here, or rather scalar lift, that hence the name scalar lifting. So for example, under this value right here, I'm going to enter the formula that we all love, that will be XLOOKUP. Close the parenthesis or open and add parenthesis. Now rather than selecting just one item, I am going to select everything, like so. Add a comma, look which one we're going to scrape it to, another comma, and for the value, close the parenthesis, and right now, we have this value. So whenever I change something here, just for the sake of discussion, I'm going to tackle hack and bury, click enter, we have that right there. How powerful is that, right? Now for the next one, we're going to utilize days now. So this is going to be the range function. We have Monday to Sunday, and we have a column or choices right there. It's a from and 2 sections. A total right there is if you click on here. So basically this is the formula. Under F6, which is going to be Tuesday, and then get what kind of values Tuesday is, we have 56, this one right there. However, if we make it a little bit more complicated for this one, let's try it out. So that being said, for this one, if I type in cell, alter the function, add some parentheses, type in an apostrophe for this one, and look for address. Close the parentheses, like so, and then add a comma, or rather remove the parentheses, and add a comma, and you'll see right here that we're gonna have that sample. Let me just close all of the formula, click enter, so you'll see that the value of 56 comes from the function or cell C7. And basically that is how you reverse engineer this process. Now what if we're looking for a proper summarization of what's the value of Tuesday to Thursday, basically adding 56, 45, and 85 all together. Now to do that, we're going to utilize XLOOKUP to a little bit more complicated level. Now that being said, I'm going to first add a sum. Now I'm going to take it slow here so you guys can really catch up. Add some parentheses, so we have sum, XLOOKUP, the function of 6, example for day, which is going to be the value here, and another comma, which is value right there. And for this one, let's add another XLOOKUP, which is basically going to be like this one. XLOOKUP for that one. As you see fit, again, that's going to be a plain XLOOKUP. Add a parenthesis. Now for this value, we're going to utilize F7, which is going to be this one. So basically, the first part right here is going to be the from section. The latter part we're doing right now is going to be this F7 or the to section. Take note about that one. Still, I'm going to take it slow here. And then where are we going to get this value? So to get this value, of course, we're going to utilize this cell, which is the same thing as example for day and B612. And for this one, add some comma. We're going to extract the value here. Basically, example for value is the same as C6 to C12. They're just going to be different in name, but the value is basically the same. And for this one, close the parentheses altogether and simply click on enter. Now as you can see right here, it's going to be 186. Now if you manually calculate it for Tuesday to Thursday, that would be 56 plus 45 and 85. And right there, we're going to get 186. Now if you change this one, for example, let's go for Monday. This changes up. If we go from Monday to Sunday, like so, every value right here is added up as a sum and give us the value of 349. As you can see on the lower part of the screen. So Excel gives you the highest, average, and sum value of everything altogether. What if we change this one to Friday or Monday to Friday? That value is basically sum up. And that's how you powerfully use XLOOKUP and summation altogether, combining two formulas in Excel to create a new powerful formula. Now for the next feature, which is basically wildcat search. So for example, we have this one, 456 or dash 456 and dash. If you manually look for it, you can see it's going to be on cell 7. You also have it in no other cell, but imagine if this is hundreds of thousands of data. And you're not going to really manually look for 456, right? So we can use XLOOKUP for this one. So of course it will be XLOOKUP formula and parentheses. So first thing, since this is a wildcard, we should treat it as a text. So I'm going to add a star value right there, an ampersand, and where are we going to look? So this is the thing we're going to look is E7. And actually for this one, we're going to add another ampersand, apostrophe, the star icon. And then for this one, don't forget the comma. Now we're going to look up for the lookup array. Or where are we going to get the values? So for this one, we're going to get here, or B6 to B29. If you're seeing example number 5, part number in your end, that's just going to be the name of the column. And then for that one, another comma. And for this one, we're going to extract it for the store location. And rather for this, we're still going to need the if not found option. So for this one, I can just simply type 0, or let's mix things up. I'm gonna add the NA option. So this is not an error, it's just basically an NA option. Add a comma, and for now we're gonna look for match mode. So since this is a wildcard search, we're gonna utilize number 2, which is wildcard. And basically for this one, we can now simply close the formula. Click on enter, and we can have it right there. The location is J6. Now what if I change this one, let's just say, for the sake of discussion, 234. Click on enter, we have F4 right there since we have 234. How awesome is that, right? Now for the sake also for the discussion, let's add some more here. What if I add here 1, 2, 3? And that would be H8. As you can see right there. Pretty awesome, pretty simple. Now for the next feature, basically this is gonna be range lookup. Now for here, we have the value of 45, right? Basically, to get this value of 45, you can just use XLOOKUP, toggle the item set and value number there, which is basically the first thing I said earlier. But right now, we're gonna look for a discount, which is we have it right here. So let me just, again, use XLOOKUP for here. Give me a second, like so. And for this one, where are we gonna select the value? Of course, we're gonna utilize F7 for this one. Now, where are we going to extract the value? We're going to extract it right there. Add another comma. We're going to extract it right here. And if not found option, you can just add 0 or NA or whatever you want here. That's basically on your own perspective. Now, for the match model, we have so much choices. Earlier, we have wildcard. For this one, I'm going to use this one, exact match or next smaller item. That will be -1. Close the parenthesis or formula. Click OK. And we have 10% under cherry, which is going to be value of 45. So basically for that one, since it's still between 20 and 80, we're still getting the 20%, or sorry, a 10% discount. But what if I change to this one, let's just say egg pie. Click enter, and we have 20% discount because the value of 63 is higher than the value of 50. What if we change this one, just for the sake of discussion also, to 90, and we're back to 10% discount. And as you can see right there, it's a pretty awesome tool to take note of. Now for the next feature, since we've been using lookup or XLOOKUP rather from first to last, what if we can use it from find last or basically last to first? So I have it right there. I'm gonna have alpha here. Let me just change it to apple. And for the value right there, of course, we're gonna utilize XLOOKUP. Now we have VLOOKUP, we have HLOOKUP, but personally right now, I am really loving XLOOKUP. So add the parenthesis for here. So we're going to utilize the F7 again. Comma, and where are we going to look at to? So we're going to look at right there under item value. So again, C6 to C29 is basically the same as item value. Another parenthesis and add the value column. So with this one, basically I'm just going to use 0. So we have the match mode. For this one, I'm going to click on exact match, of course. Under comma, so this is now where it's going to be fun. This is the search mode. So we have first to last, the one we did earlier or we've been doing from the start. We have search last to first. We have binary search again, but this is going to be ascending and descending. So for me, I'm going to go for -1. Close the formula, click on enter. So right there, we have that value. If I ever have it or change it, for example, to cherry, like so, we have the lowest version of cherry right here. And basically that's it. Now for the next one, we're going to utilize return multiple values. Since earlier we're just using one value, right? We are using one data. Now for this, I'm just going to type in cherry for this one. And here, of course, we're going to utilize XLOOKUP. The parenthesis for this one, of course, would be F7, the lookup value. Always start with the lookup value. And then let's add a comma. We're going to look at add item. Another comma, we're going to return it to the size and value. So this is where it gets interesting. Select the two right there and basically close the parenthesis. Click on enter. So we have two values gathered with one formula. Take note about that one, alright? So what if I change this one right now, for the sake of the discussion, to egg pie? We have the value right there to apple. Sorry, that is misspelled. We have it also right there. How about Fuji apple? Perfectly right here. What if I just type in Fuji? Will it read? Let's try it out. Fortunately, it will not. So Excel is pretty specific on these terms, so make sure you add the specific spelling on your end. And basically that is how it works on returning multiple values. Now for the next example, I know that says horizontal lookup for this one. We're still going to utilize XLOOKUP in the value or in the process of horizontal lookup, because I want to show you how powerful XLOOKUP is, even though we're utilizing another formula in terms of it. So that will be XLOOKUP. For this one, we're going to utilize the B13 or quarter 3 value. And where are we going to return it to? Of course, we're going to return it right there, starting from C5 up to F5. And where are we going to look it up? That would be again C6 up to F6. And simply close the formula, click OK, and we have 80 for quarter 3. If I put quarter 1 here, sorry, that's QA. If I put in quarter 1, I'm going to have 60. Same goes for quarter 4, I'm going to have 70. Of course, reverse engineering it, if I change the value of quarter 4 for this one, I just put 5, that would be 5. Alright? Now for the last feature, this is a bit more complicated because we're going to two-way lookup. Now how does it work? Of course, that would be XLOOKUP. And for this one, that would be a parenthesis. Where are we going to check it? That will be G7. And then add a comma. Where is G7 or egg pie? The column item. And for here, where are we going to look it up? So we have to right here, rather than selecting 2, the one earlier, select the whole dataset, as you can see right there. Now if I click this one, close the formula, we have the size and then the code right there. And basically that's how you do it. However, let's step it up a notch. Let's be a little more complicated for this one. And now to make it a little bit more complicated for this one, so this is our formula, right? Now we're gonna add XLOOKUP inside XLOOKUP. Sounds weird, right? But we're gonna do it anyways. So first one, would be XLOOKUP again. And then of course the parenthesis to make it work as a formula. We're gonna utilize size here, H6. And where are we gonna get the size? Of course that would be the headers, which be this one. That would be 5 to E5. If you have a headers name for this, that would work perfect. Column or comma for this one. And then where are we going to return it to? So we're going to return it to for the previous formula we used earlier. And then close the parenthesis, click OK, and we have small right there. Because why small? Because we're still using the size. If we change this one, for example, to value, we're going to have that value right there of 63. Now this is where it gets fun. If I change it, we're going to have that one right there, 29, and basically looking everything up starting from part number to size and then the value. And of course, we can also use part number. As you can see right there, if I click on enter, we're going to have the part number. So this is the part we're now changing, rather than the one from earlier. And basically that's it. Those are the 10 powerful tips I can give you in XLOOKUP. So please hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye for now.